Hi, my name is Purple Turtle Tarot. I'm not exactly sure why my camera seems like it's a little blurrier today, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with it. Today is Lionsgate Portal of 2025, so it's August 8th, 2025. I think this Lionsgate portal is interesting because it's really close to the full moon in Aquarius. That's tomorrow. I don't know exactly when it's peaking, so I probably should look that up before this video. Um, but let's see, what is Aquarius about? It's about community. It also is very heavily associated with technology, the underdog, humanitarian efforts. Those are the main things about Aquarius. Um, and so there might be some cycles possibly closing out with certain communities, certain online communities. Um, hmm. Huh. Interesting. I'm getting some intuitive messages that like maybe some social media websites might, if there's any like negative intentions behind certain social media websites, like that is going to have um, that cycle is going to end somehow. And things are going to be put into place where possibly social media websites might become more actually community oriented, because I think people have come to have feelings that, because like there's this thing about like, oh, a lot of these people we think we're talking to in forums and whatnot are actually bots. They're just bots meant to aggravate or literally create posts just to try and get someone to react to it for engagement purposes. Um, I feel like possibly cycles about that might be ending. And if it's not ending on like a universal like scale for people individually, they may be becoming more aware of communities like this and disengaging from online communities that are just an echo chamber of like bots. People might be finding actual real niche communities. Um, People might be finding more of their soul tribes at this time, is what I'm feeling with a full moon in Aquarius, very close to the Lionsgate portal. I wish I got this video out a little sooner than late in the day of Lionsgate, but supposedly, like, the range of Lionsgate's energy is for a good week or two before and after today. Other than the numerological significance of it, I don't really understand why so many esoteric uh, inclined individuals are interested in it, honestly. But I did create some businesses though on the Lionsgate portal last year on 888, because 2024 becomes an 8. What else might, what other energies might come from this? And then, yeah. I think we have some sort of conjunction or aligning of most of the planets as well. I don't remember if it's all the planets or just like some of them, like Jupiter, Saturn, Venus. Like supposedly a lot of them are going to be in a straight line, like within this next week also. And yeah. And also, you know, people with Aquarius placements are probably going to feel this energy the most transformative energy with this full moon in Aquarius. Yeah. What else? Oh, yeah, okay. And then I said Aquarius is also about like humanitarian efforts. I feel like false false charities are possibly going to dismantle and break down. So anywhere where like charities are acting like they're collecting all this money and giving it to what they say they're giving it to, if they're doing other things with it, it's going to break down. Yeah. What else? I'm not sure. mm, I feel like people with a lot of 11th house placements might also be affected by these transits as well. Yeah. And then I intuitively picked out these decks for the Lionsgate reading. We're going to do I have 2 Oracle decks and a Tarot deck. So we have the Divine Directions. And these are super simple cards, really affordable also, and I really like them because as a person that has like ADHD and I'm very air sign dominant. I'm always thinking way too much and kind of like it's just like a hurricane in my mind at least. So these are simple ways for me to be like, what should I actually do with my day? Okay. What does the collective need to know about Lionsgate Portal? Whoa. So we have birth. Maybe if where is my, I think, that's brighter. Hopefully that helps. Well, it doesn't seem to help reading the card. This is a time of new beginnings. Embrace the new life with open arms. Don't know why my laptop is being like that right now. That's freaking great. Because the full moon is like a closing of cycles, so birth comes right after, closing a cycle. And I think I was saying that too about birth of new, more positively intentioned communities and charities. I feel like there's going to be a lot of like vigilantes, possibly, just like people really stepping up to actually want to help humanity. Clearing. I feel like a lot of the collective is also going to actually start remembering their past lives. Clearing. I don't know why I'm trying to show the cards again. It says remove energy blockages by clearing out unwanted emotional and material clutter. Yeah, I just cleaned my room a little bit, and honestly, I could clean it a lot more. But I think it's like a clearing out of blockages of, because like it happens when we reincarnate is we like get like amnesia about our past lives and everything. So I feel like people are finally going to start remembering their akashic records a little more. Proud of who you are, where you've been, and where you're going. Yeah, where you've been. So yeah, it definitely seems like it's like people are going to be able to know their akashic records of like who they've been in past lifetimes, and also be able to foresee like who they may be in the future. So Time. The universe is helping you look for synchronistic events around you. Time. Yeah. I keep talking about the past and the future. I don't know, more people might be. I don't even know how that works, but I think humans have found the technology to time travel and everything. I know I've heard people are able to do it with astral projection, but I don't know if humans have possibly gained the ability to do it in the 3D yet, but some people know how to do it in the 5D. So there's a lot of things about akashic records and time travel possibly. I don't know how that's gonna come to fruition, though. I think Spirit wants me. I usually only pull 3 of these, but Spirit wants me to pull 1 more. Teach. It was in the reverse, and I kind of got that feeling like I think more people are going to wake up to time traveling, but a certain group of individuals are going to try and keep that sacred knowledge to themselves for ulterior motives. But anyone that actually knows how to, astral project, lucid dream, time travel with astral projection, I'm trying to teach myself how to do it. These people hopefully will feel a call to action to teach these things. Yeah. And then I felt really called to do the Galactic Guides Oracle deck. Because something about the Lionsgate portal, I don't know why they call it that, other than it's in Leo season. But like, I feel like possibly it's associated with Lyrans, which is a type of starseed and they look like cats. Supposedly that's where lions and tigers and cheetahs and jaguars stemmed from, was Lyrans seeding planet Earth to create hybrid versions of themselves. And then these Lyrans also passed down their DNA to humans. And so some of us have Lyran DNA. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That moon looks beautiful. It's so bright. I think I want to do some moon gazing tonight. So freaking beautiful. So I'm gonna pull 3. I love this creator, like the artist, but I'm really disappointed in this deck. If anyone's thinking of getting it, because it's mostly like an astrology deck. And I thought it was gonna have more star seeds in it. It only has 11 out of I think the 50 cards it has. Also, there is an Aquarius card in here though, so maybe I should read what it's saying about Aquarius in here, because I really like the author also does a spectacular job with their book. So Aquarius rules the throat and the third eye, and its crystal is aquamarine, flower is violet, and the plant is mushroom. So maybe eating more adaptogenic mushrooms, reishi, chaga, shiitake. What are the other ones? I don't know. Or maybe the more fun ones. Make sure the source is trusted. Yeah. Dressing in violet and aquamarine colors might help while focusing on the throat and the third eye. I guess I'll just read this. Be true to who you are, let your uniqueness shine. Inspiring others to do the same, look ahead and light the way for others. Where are you not being true to yourself? How can you light up and lead the way for others? So I am thinking this is collectively affecting the world, like these descriptions. Often considered to be the weirdo of the zodiac, Aquarius is not really weird at all, just ahead of the curve. Aquarius has no problem with owning their uniqueness and easily expresses the truth of who they are. I don't know why they're using he pronouns with this. I think possibly because the person they have here is a masculine. I'm just going to use he even though they, she, just because it's easier than repronouncing while reading this. He believes in a better world, can see into higher timelines where life is easier and more joyful for all, and often finds himself frustrated when coming back to here and now. Expecting a lot from others, Aquarius expects even more from himself. He goes above and beyond, whether that's through activism, taking on leadership roles, or offering advice to those around him. Ruled by Uranus, Aquarius is no stranger to pushing the boundaries. He reminds you that it's not just okay, but imperative that you be true to yourself and stand up for what you believe in. Aquarius is a trendsetter, awakener, and visionary soul who can support you in letting your own free flag fly with confidence and power. And they have some more specific aspects of Aquarius. In love, relationships can be challenging. When you see the world differently, look for common ground. Money, hold the vision for what you want your financial situation to look like. You may find success with unique business ideas. Purpose, lead and support others. Service, get involved with some form of activism, attend marches, sign petitions, or get involved with politics. Spirituality. To activate your third eye, visualize an indigo light at your brow pulsing with light. Always protect, ground, and clear your energy before and after working with your third eye. Light work. Call on Archangel Raphael to help you safely open your third eye. Speak your truth with love and listen to the truth of others. Pay attention to the visions you see in your meditations. Protect your energy so you feel safe and completely be yourself in the world. Shadow work. Accept that not everybody will be ready to see the world as you do. Remember that no one has all the answers, not even you. Don't get so focused on the future you forget to live in the here and now. When stepping into your role as an activist, share your truth with kindness and compassion rather than aggression. Yeah. Sorry, reading out of the book was a little longer than I anticipated, but I really like how Victoria Maxwell writes her books. Now we're going to pull 3 star seeds. And this could either be star seeds that are helping the collective the most right now during this time, or it may resonate for you specifically. Usually I'm more invigorated by the sun. I'm more of a sun person than a moon person, but this moon is like making me extremely happy. I don't know why. And I love that too, where my room faces. I didn't realize that. I guess I'm lucky. Yeah. I guess side note, this might be for someone. Look into your feng shui as well. My qua number. Maybe I shouldn't say my qua number on the public. I mean, I guess people could just look it up anyways if they know my birthday. But my qua number means that my best direction is the east. And I'm lucky that my window faces the east. And I guess I'm just lucky that I get to watch sunrises and moonrises all the time. Yeah, sorry. Okay, back to the starseeds. And then I will be ending with a tarot reading. Cygnus. That's one I'm less familiar with. Pleiades and Arcturus. Okay. I don't know Cygnus and Arcturus as much, so I might read more about them, but Pleiades is all about love. So it says, grace, divinity, elevated consciousness, and royalty. And they're all wearing white. So maybe wearing violet, blue, and white during this time may be very beneficial. Pleiades, healing, compassion, understanding, and peace. Arcturus, strong will, pioneer, forward thinking, and change making. I think I'm also called to talk about this. I hear some people put down talking about starseeds, saying that it's sorry about my dogs. That it's, what is it called? Not racist, but colonialist? I don't. But some people have said it's racist too, because like they say that the Pleiades, when people talk about what they look like, that they're like tall, slender, and have blonde hair and blue eyes, which people would be like, well, isn't that just what are they called, Aryan qualities? But how I view it is kind of similarly to how people criticize astrology, is that when you're starting to learn in our 3D experience, we are divided. That's why we have a bunch of different languages instead of just light language itself. It's why we have gender wars. It's why we have racial wars. It's because the 3D has like divided us from one consciousness. And this is why when people are starting to learn astrology or first hear about it, they're just like, wow, you saying you're this sign and someone else is this sign is just a way to like judge them and criticize them and put them down. And that's not necessarily true. People might have some generalizations, but then when you start to learn even more about astrology, you're like, oh wait, I only knew about my sun sign, which was an Aquarius, but my Venus sign is a Pisces. I thought I hated Pisces, only to come to find out that I have Pisces energy within me, and that every single astrology sign somewhat affects people. Whether it's in your chart or not, its position in the sky when you were born has some sort of effect on you. Each constellation. It smells like skunk. I don't know what the spiritual meaning of skunk is. I think I've looked it up before, but I smelled that last night also, I think. I know enough to know the difference between if it's an actual skunk or just the fun kind of skunk. That's real skunk. But yeah, so people that say that starseeds are elitist or racist, I think are speaking from a place of division. The same people that try and like, oh, well, women have it harder, or well, men have it harder, or well, women do this, men do this, or this race does this, or this. So, but then you start to find out about reincarnation, and you find out that, wow, okay, well, I've been multiple starseeds. When I first found out about starseeds, I did have like an ego what is it called? Ego complex about it, a superiority complex about it. I had ego deaths about it. Like, I think I've even been draconian in some reincarnations. I don't think I've been reptilian. But I would assume that there are some well-intentioned reptilians even out there. And draconians, even though those ones have, like, the worst reputations. I think it's weird when people like put them down. It's weird too because I feel like it's like a defense mechanism or like projection on like what makes you feel so special that because you're a starseed. And then people that know slightly more about it are like, well, you're a starseed too. Like almost everyone on this planet is a starseed. And then people say, oh, well, then that means you're not special at all. And it's like, actually, every single person is special. I don't know. Okay, well, now I'm just rambling a little bit. Oh, wow, interesting. This crown somewhat kind of looks like, because the crown on this alien looks very over accentuated. Her crown kind of looks over accentuated also. And this is actually the star tarot card of an alien. Wow, I didn't realize. Yeah, that is kind of interesting because this is a very synchronistic tarot card for the Lionsgate portal, star seeds, and full moon in Aquarius. So yeah, interesting. And then we have Arcturus, strong will, pioneer, forward thinking, and change making. I think Arcturians are very, very similar to Aquarius energy also because they're very I think they're very technology driven. They're very like engineer types, inventor types, scientist types. But yeah, pioneer and forward thinking, that's an Aquarian thing. And then I guess I'm going to read out of the book. I feel like it's important for these starseeds. Okay, Cygnus elements are air and white gold. Aquarius is an air sign. Chakra is the stellar gateway. Oh, I forgot which one that is. I think that's like up here, and I think it's white. And stellar gateway, like Lion's Gate, stellar gateway. I think it's white. I don't know if the stellar gate is above the galactic gate, which is magenta color right here. The crystal is diamond. Flowers, I don't know how to pronounce it. Peony? Plant is frankincense. Awaken and remember and activate your spiritual majesty. Remember you are as divine as all of Source's creations and worthy of all the love and light in the universe. Rise onto your highest path. What does grace mean to you? Where could you show more grace to yourself and others? Also known as the Northern Cross, Cygnus, which means swan in Latin, is a constellation with the closest star at a distance of 72.71 light years away from Earth and the furthest main star 1,832 light years away. What? So it's a very wide-ranged constellation, I guess. Cygnus. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. I don't know. I'm getting messages that these starseeds or this race, species, star race is definitely helping us because it's like a swan and putting Earth underneath its wings, how it's expanding so far across. Oh yeah, and I was thinking about Zeus too while the swan came up. Ancient Greek myths vary as to how Cygnus got its name, one describing how Zeus disguised himself as a swan to win the love of Leda. The wife of a Spartan king, Cygnus is also known for its connection with the Chinese folktale Zhinu, who was separated from her lover, can only meet with him one day a year. Cygnus is the bridge that her and her lover can travel on that day to find each other again. And then this is Zhinu. She's actually up here. And it's funny because she represents star seeds, star families, and soulmates. It's funny because she has like a starry dress also. This is made by the same author and illustrator. But I love how they depicted Zhinu in a modern sense. I don't know if I've ever talked about this dream. Should I end this reading? I guess so, because it's about lions. I wish I finished my painting. I'm gonna finish it after my recording of these two lions from my dream. But it started off with like a whale. And it kind of reminded me of like One Piece and what's his name? Brooks' old whale friend. Brooks says his name so much, so how could I not remember it? Laboo? Laboon? It might be Laboon. But, oh yeah, that's interesting too, yeah. I guess that's why I imagined a whale. There's something about space galactic whales that I'm not entirely sure, but I heard that Mintakans used to have like very powerful giant whales around them. But anyways, back to my dream. I was in kind of like a valley with like giant cliffs jutting up and like a water canal in the middle, and it was kind of like a docking place for like pirates, and kind of like more well-natured pirates is the feeling I was getting while watching it. But there was like this whale, and like the pirates left. It's kind of similar to like Laboon's story in One Piece, and then it was just like wondering when they're gonna come back, I think. And so it started thrashing and everything. And part of Laboon's story is like it continued to hit its head over and over again, basically like self-harming itself like on a rock wall. Had like a bunch of scars on its forehead, so yeah, it's like some sort of significance of like someone's third eye hitting a block over and over again, being like, where do I belong? Like, who's my star family? Where am I supposed to be in this universe? Where are the people that care about me? Yeah. I forgot what Luffy did to make him calm down in the show. Oh, he sparred with Laboon or something. Played with him. But in my dream, there was a whale very similar thrashing around because it was upset that it could not find its family, and then somehow like the whale like spiritually passed away or died, and its like soul like rose up out of him. I don't know, it was almost like the whale died of a broken heart. Um, and then went up into like the astral realm or into space and transformed into a lion with a mane, so a male lion. Um, and he had like an iridescent, like white mane, um, and was like walking on a Milky Way. And then there was like a female lion because that one didn't have a mane, and I kind of forgot, she said something like, "I've been waiting for you for a really long time." And I think maybe the male lion was still crying. Um, and then they just embraced, and then I woke up, and the only time I've ever in my life, like, I was like crying like happy tears. There are a couple other times in my life where I've woken up like crying like distressed tears. This is the only time in my life I've woken up crying like the same type of tears that someone may cry if you're releasing a lot during like a sound bath healing, or releasing a lot when you're cleansing your chakras. If you've never felt that feeling, you probably need to. But yeah, that's a dream for me that I might have had around last year's Lionsgate, if I remember correctly. It was like a week before Lionsgate. Yeah. But I think a lot of people might actually be reconnecting with their soul families and their soul tribes. At least that's what I hope. So the celestial swan of Cygnus is home to many stars, star systems, deep sky objects, clusters, nebulas, and Cygnus X1, the first black hole ever discovered. Spiritually, Cygnus is known for its swan like grace and elevated consciousness. Connecting with the ascended beings of Cygnus 1 can help you live more smoothly with, oh my gosh, with ease and with your head held high, knowing you are divine and see yourself as royalty in your life. You can connect with Cygnus's very highly evolved energy when you feel a need to raise up, break free, and find yourself spiritually. It's interesting too because I've been playing video games and like for some reason have been noticing a lot more swans and ducks and flamingos. So I don't know, those animals all might be important spiritual animals. In love, show grace towards those who disappoint you or let you down. Set loving boundaries, but don't hold grudges. Money, remember that prosperity is an energy. Hold that energy in your consciousness and in aura to attract full abundance. Purpose, remember you are divine and use that knowledge to create, experience, and live the most magical life. Service, elevate your consciousness through spiritual work, personal development, and creativity, and in all your dealings with others. Spirituality, open your stellar gateway chakra, which sits about 1 meter above the top of your head, by visualizing diamond white light pulsing and strengthening your connection with Source in your highest self. Light work. Work with the higher chakras. Listen to high vibrational music and mantras. Look for ways you can create more ease in your life. Dedicate yourself to the spiritual path. Shadow work. Explore the black holes within. Remember that the brighter the light, the longer the shadows. That you can't reach higher levels of consciousness without traveling through the darkness. Look into soul retrieval to draw back to you any lost parts. Consider your judgments and perceptions around the word royalty. And then for Pleiades, elements are water and platinum. Chakras are the heart and the higher heart. Crystal is Herkimer diamond. Flower is white daffodil. Plant is milky oats. Interesting. So both these crystals were Herkimer diamond and regular diamond. Now I'm like channeling that, we might remember like people we've married in past lives. Or we might just come to an ultimate knowing of who we're supposed to spiritually marry in this life. I don't know. Something about sacred contracts, though. Focus on your own healing journey. Heal from the past, heal your thoughts, and heal your aura and energy systems. Rest and let the energies integrate. What needs healing? Where are you being called to have more compassion and understanding for yourself or others? The Pleiades star cluster sits 444 light years away. 444. Also known as the Seven Sisters. I've also heard of the Seven Hathors from Egyptian mythology. The Pleiades have been the inspiration for myths and legends all over the world since ancient times. According to some astronomers, they may even be related to the oldest myth known to humankind, which dates back to 100,000 years. Are they not going to explain the myth? That's weird. Light workers and spiritual seekers are fascinated with the star system and high vibrational star guides that are said to originate from there. Pleiadian light beings are known for their deep, loving, compassionate, and peaceful natures and may have reached much higher planes of love and consciousness than humanity has, making them wonderful allies to those on their journey towards enlightenment and ascension. Gifted energy healers in Pleiadians can bring spiritual, emotional, and mental healing to all of those who call upon them. Love, heal your heart from the past hurts, give yourself space, time, grace, and forgiveness. Don't rush too fast into something. Money, work on healing your money story and making positive changes. Purpose, heal yourself and others through energy healing, medicine, and emotional support. There are many paths to healing. Service, be compassionate and kind to all. Try to understand why people are the way they are rather than judging them. Spirit, work with energy healing practices. Learn to practice an energy healing modality or book in for a treatment. Visualize pale blue Pleiadian light moving through your chakras and aura, healing and clearing and aligning you. With Pleiades also being associated with the higher heart chakra and the heart chakra. Heart chakras right here. Well, heart seed chakras right here. And the higher heart chakras like right here. I think it might also be called the thymus chakra. Light work, practice daily energy work such as clearing, grounding, and protecting your energy. Work with your higher heart chakra by visualizing higher heart lighting up with a beautiful lilac silver light. I love that color or color combo. Invite your Pleiadian guides to bring you healing in meditation or sleep. Ask your Pleiadian guides to teach you about energy healing. Shadow work. Remember that people always have a choice and some people don't want to be healed. Work with your higher chakras, but don't forget to stay grounded. Have patience with yourself if you struggle with some of the more grounded aspects of earth life, such as working with the energy of money, paying taxes, or filling in forms. Ask for help from others. There are many things you can heal and work on yourself, but sometimes you need support. You need support from others, other healers or guides. I'm talking too fast. And then Arcturus. This is already longer than I thought it was gonna be. Okay, so we have Arcturus, elements fire and steel. Chakras are third eye and the root. Crystal, Libyan desert glass. Ooh, that has similar, I think, similar metaphysical properties to moldavite. I know moldavite was all the rave on TikTok a couple years ago, but Libyan desert glass also does similar things. Flower is allium, I've never heard of that, and plant is angelica. And it's also interesting because this is Herkimer diamond, and moldavite and Herkimer diamond work really well together, because moldavite can sometimes be like really intense, so Herkimer diamond kind of smooths that out a bit. You are a pioneer of light, often see the world differently from those around you. While this may feel challenging at times, it really is a gift, as you are here to be a leader of the new world. What can you see that others can't? How are you feeling called to create a new world for yourself and others? Just 36.66 light years away, Arcturus is a red giant star in the constellation of Boots. To locate Arcturus in the sky, look for the Big Dipper and follow the arc down the handle, one of the brightest stars in our sky. Arcturus features prominently in ancient Greek mythology and has been made famous in the modern-day pop culture through Doctor Who, Star Trek, and Aliens. I didn't know that. Arcturian star beings are the change makers of the galaxy, forward thinkers with the ability to see potential the future holds. Being the first to walk a different path is always difficult, but with strong will and strong sense of self, the Arcturians can help you not only visualize a new world for yourself and others, but also use your power to make it happen. Love. You have the power to create positive change in your relationships. Be the love you want to attract. Money. Set money goals and create budgets and saving plans as part of your money manifestation practices. Purpose. You are here to be a pioneer leader in way shower. That's weird. A person that shows the way for others. And to help them create a better world for themselves and the collective. That wasn't written very well. Service. Support others where they are without forcing them into a future they can't yet see. I need to take that advice, because I have in the past judged a lot of draconians and reptilians for having reptile brain and just thinking about lust, possessions, money, power. Accepting everyone as they are, even if they continually try and block my chakras or siphon off my chakras. If I just forgive and regenerate my energy immediately, I am fine. If I just view them as all of us being one, all of their actions are making me stronger. Spirituality. Visualize your future, tap into various timelines, and see things working out in different ways. Choose the best path and take action to make it happen. Light work. Take action to make your dream future happen. Know that you are worthy of leading others. Work on developing your psychic awareness and opening your third eye. Remember that the future isn't set in stone, that you create it. Make changes within first. This is shadow work. Make changes within first so that you can then change the world. Try to meet people where they're at rather than where you're at. If you make changes that don't work out, see them as stepping stones on the way to what will. Remember that the visions you see for the future can change rapidly, so keep checking in and changing course, and don't get stuck on one idea of what the future could look like. Interesting. It says the future is bright on her shirt, and I was saying the moon looks extremely bright today. What else? But those are the 4 star seeds. or 3 star seeds, and additionally 1 goddess that represents star seeds wanted to come into this reading to help guide the collective or someone in particular. And now we're going to do tarot with the Tridevia tarot deck. What does the collective need to know for this Lionsgate portal? What is the most important? I ask the universe to give me high vibrational, truthful messages only. I ask for high vibrational, truthful messages. I ask for high vibrational, truthful messages for the collective. And especially for our star seeds that are healing humanity the most right now. Whoa. Okay. Okay. We have 9 of Swords reversed, and we have 8 of Pentacles in the upright so far. I need to remind myself to show the cards longer so you guys don't have to pause, and I might actually have a nice thumbnail. Yeah. And these cards, because of all of the foil, they are a little hard to see. Oh, yeah. Okay, it's a moon skull and woman that looks scared or lost. It's interesting too. I mean, the way it's curved around here, it does look like, seem a little matrixy. So I do take that as the collective, like, breaking out of the matrix, perhaps. I mean, possibly a lot of truths coming from the astrals, because in this view, all of these swords are upright. Like, if these are all individual Ace of Swords indicating truth or communication, it's like a lot of rapid messages coming from star races, space, the astral, very quickly. It's interesting too, because some people are it's interesting that there's a snake here curled around. Yeah, there's some sort of snakes, like, I think trying to control the narrative and control, like, what sacred knowledge passes through the matrix. And because, like, that's how the matrix runs, is that they want us to fear things. Yeah. So, and this person may be resisting, or they were in the past, because this is reversed now, which is usually letting go of fear and phobias. So this person before was like resisting hearing these things. You know, the first time I heard about starseeds, that was very science-based. I was like, I need to see like 5 different studies about how this is true. And it's just, when you start to have your own spiritual experiences that can only be explained from 5D things that are not actively seen in the 3D is when you understand this stuff. But I thought star seeds were stupid the first time I heard about it when I think I was like 18 or 19. At this time I could even read people's like colored auras. And I thought it was just because I was smoking weed at the time. I just thought it was visuals. No, that was me reading auras without even knowing I was doing that yet. But yeah, so I think there's a lot of people that had that kind of mindset that I also had, where I was just like, what are starseeds? What's an indigo child? Like, what's a rainbow child? That just sounds like someone wants to feel special and put a label on it. I felt that way about astrology also. I was just like, how can you be all of the different signs? That seems like a cop out. Or that seems like, oh, okay, well then anything you say about any sign works if your whole entire chart almost has that sign. But then if you start to get into looking into the degrees of things and your asteroids and your fixed stars and your houses, yeah, and specific transits at certain times, and the synastry of certain things, then you realize that astrology is extremely nuanced, even between two people that have like twins. Twins should have like the same birth chart, but their experiences are incredibly nuanced. I feel like I'm tangenting a lot, but this also reminds me of a womb. Like yeah, so this also reminds me of a person like rapidly maybe getting a bunch of their past lives like told to them, and how, you know, they were a baby when they came out of the womb, but like really, like spiritually speaking, we are adults that just forget our past lives. I don't know. Scorpio may also be a prominent sign for an individual, but for the collective also, a lot of death and rebirth. That was the first card on my Divine Directions Oracle, was birth. So it's interesting that this has some feelings of like a womb or birth in it. And then we have Eight of Pentacles. I took so long just talking about that one card. The rune Dagus might be important. I don't know much about this Genshin Impact character, but his name's Sethos. There's something about an hourglass shape, which on its side is the Dagus rune. But Sethos has that hourglass shape. I don't really know what he's about. He holds a lot of secrets, but I don't know what those secrets are. I don't really want to spoil it for myself by looking it up, but I haven't found it out yet. He comes from the desert. I mean, if you go into starseed like lore and everything, I think star races seeded humans to start with in Africa, kind of around the deserts and the islands around that desert. Well, now I'm thinking, was it really always a desert? But anyways, maybe something about the story of Sumeru's deserts from Genshin Impact might be important. I wish I remember exactly what video that's called, but I think there's a certain video by Dr. Virtual 7 in Power Dynamics on YouTube that like flushes your subconscious of like any negative energy or spiritual parasites you pick up from engaging in media. Like, I love the game Genshin Impact, but you kind of gotta wonder, when the gods they have placed on their nations are called archons, and your companion's name is Paimon, and that is someone that's a demon's name, and then they come out with these other characters called shades, and they're also named after demons, such as Asmodeus or Astaroth. Well, you gotta wonder what their agenda is with creating games like this. But I've noticed that Genshin Impact, I don't even think they're unintentionally doing it. I think kind of just like The Matrix and Stranger Things and Star Trek and Truman Show, they're just telling you what's actually going on without telling you what's actually going on. It's like serving you nonfiction as fiction is a gigantic thing in the media industry. But I think, yeah, Dr. Virtual 7 in Power Dynamics, I forgot what video it's called, but it's supposed to be able to flesh out anything from like media and TV shows and movies. But he has like 500-ish videos, so you might have to search a little for it. But I think that video is important, and I'm talking too long about it now. Honestly, a lot of Scorpio energy, because I think spiders are pretty heavily associated with Scorpio, because a scorpion is very close to a spider, and I think a lot of people with Scorpio placements come from Antares. I don't know much about that constellation, but it's also reminding me of, I think, the Spider Woman or Spider Grandmother. This has a lot to do with, just fate, the threads of fate, and how we're all interconnected in some sort of mycelium network. How, I don't know, we really, as an entire species of humanity, can break out of a matrix if we will ourselves to do so. What else am I thinking here? What is that? There's like interesting flames coming off of this spider. Fire spider. I know spiders represent spiritual wisdom. I don't know why I'm getting an image of a spider actually getting set on fire and curling up and dying, though. That's not that positive of a message, but I know people also, the more negative side of spider symbolism is people use cobweb magic and spider magic. People send spiders to remote view on you. There might be nanobot spiders to inject you with certain things. Yeah, and people use cobweb magic, I think, to, try and get a person stuck. That's a negative side of spider stuff, but I don't know, I'll clarify that, I guess. Should I clarify already? Sure. That's what Spirit wants me to do. 10 of Swords. Oh, geez. Okay. A betrayal of some sort. Clarify the Nine of Swords also. Chariot, okay. This person has a gigantic, I think, heart chakra symbol right here. This is Chariot, this is Cancer, this is the Mother. Interesting. I'm getting Mother Nature and Father Time very strongly, because like the hourglass here is also Father Time, kind of, or Saturn energy, kind of like Kronos energy here. But then the Chariot is associated with Cancer, and Cancer is associated with the Mother. There's a bow and arrow here too, so channeling Eros and Cupid and Sagittarius. Forward movement. This person, oh, they have a gigantic halo. I didn't realize that last time. Their third eye is open. Their halo is like almost an orbiting solar system. Oh, that's interesting. Easteroth, one of my favorite designed characters in Genshin Impact. I don't know how people are going to cosplay her because it looks intense. It's a lot of floating objects not attached to anything else. But she has like kind of a halo type hat thing with like little stars and I think kind of constellations around. It looks like this, Easteroth. I wish they didn't name them after freaking demons. I'm hoping they're very respectful with what they do with the heavenly principles, because apparently the heavenly principles they're in charge of the shades. So there's forward movement, yes. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of heavy astral traveling messages with this because it's breaking out of the matrix. Movement, easier travel through the matrix boundaries, through different dimensions and being able to ascend past the third dimension. But there's some sort of betrayal here. Like Father Time. I guess that's just, that is just a betrayal of the Matrix, is making people think that they're locked into their fate. Like even all of these like lower vibrational entities or people, it's like they drink they just believe that they have horrible karma and that's all that's ever made for them or something, and like not even trying better. It's like almost they self-sabotage themselves by thinking less of themselves. For people that like to steal energy, or maybe like hurt people or mock people, hurt people because they're hurt people, like they sabotage themselves because they believed the Matrix. They believe that they were shackled to a certain fate or a generational curse or something, when in reality they're not. Interesting that there's a snake here as well. Yeah, there are certain people that I think follow the Saturn black cube or are Satanists or yeah, it's like the snake. There's a snake here on the outside of the moon. The snake infiltrated and wrapped wrapped around their leg. It's also interesting. Why am I channeling so much like Genshin symbolism? There's a character named Raiden Shogun, and she pulls a sword out of her chest. Which is interesting because Chariot also rules the chest. I don't know, I guess, yeah, there's something about some people self-sabotaging their own heart chakras for for upholding the matrix. There are especially people that already know about all of this stuff and they want to keep other people trapped in the matrix. But then it's like, what? Isn't this hurting you as well to do that to other people? And then there's other people that have such strong heart chakras that is like their secret weapon that they aren't even knowledgeable about. Like just a gigantic green laser that just obliterates negative entities, darkness, lower entities. Yeah, it's interesting too because both of these cards have something about like the chest, about the heart chakra. Yeah. So, and then the starseed card, which one? The Pleiades talks a lot about the heart chakra and the higher heart. So, what else does the collective need to know? I'll keep those in mind, but I'm feeling like someone's trying to what is it called? Manipulate the energy of the reading. The Hermit reverse came and the Emperor reverse came, so I'll just mention that. People that know tarot might take extra messages from that. But it's like reclusive energy, ignoring spiritual insights, and over dominating energy, or karmic masculines. And that, to me, or I mean, it could be a message of like there have been so many aggressive, overly dominating leaders that it has pushed the real leaders into a reclusive type of energy. And that is a big thing about what I think this Lionsgate portal is going to like transform and put the real spiritual leaders, the people really meant to lead nations to ascension, to authentic, genuine ascension. They are going to be given, the torch. One moment. Just cleansing my cards really quickly. Please give me accurate, insightful, high vibrational messages. Please give me accurate, truthful, high vibrational messages. That's so funny because I was just saying there's no other card that represents the torch in tarot deck more than this one. So maybe those two cards, the Hermit and the Emperor, maybe they were meant to be in this reading, but who knows? It's also Aries and Virgo in the reverse. But, ooh, yes. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. It's fixed sign energy with the Wheel of Fortune. What is it? Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Scorpio, very heavy in this reading. And a rose. Rose is kind of that came. There's a rose here. So yeah, Cygnus may be reaching out to a lot of starseeds on Earth and giving them some sort of torch in order for them to be able to move into a position where they can actually lead others and use their gifts for what they're meant for. Interesting. What else is here? With the Wheel of Fortune, I don't know what that is. Oh, interesting. I don't think every wheel, this is like a sailing, what is it called? Sailor's wheel, ship, steering wheel. Because there's, yeah. It's not just a regular wheel. I think it's also like, it almost looks like a female Anubis. And there's a snake also. And then the other animals and characters that represent the fixed signs. I don't know if there's always a Sphinx on the Wheel of Fortune. So I think maybe a lot of revelations about like Egyptian past lives might come to fruition, or a lot of star spraces that were around during ancient Egypt might be helping the collective right now. Yeah. I love that the Wheel of Fortune came up right in this reading. And Anubis is here again, and like Anubis is, rules death. I think Anubis is also tied to Syrian starseeds, I think. Because I think those are the ones that were dog races, but I'm not entirely sure. There are some negative Syrians also, though, that have in secret given the elites technology to hurt the rest of humanity. So I don't think all Syrians are positive, but I think some are, like Anubis. Um, Page of Swords. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of newbies. A lot of newbies finally accepting reincarnation or being a starseed. Because I see this line here. I think this line's coming from behind him, but it looks like it's coming from their third eye. And like this spiral kind of reminds me of like the Avatar. I think one of the first times he got to see all of his reincarnations, past life reincarnations, like in a spiral. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of awakenings, I think, right now. I do manifest that. Not sure if that's supposed to be their Page of Cups reverse, some sort of immaturity in the matter of receiving this sort of knowledge. Some might reject it by making fun of it. I don't know. I do know that someone's trying to manipulate the energy again right now, so maybe I just need to cleanse my cards again. Right. Please give me accurate, intuitive messages. Seven of Cups reverse. So we have Page of Cups reverse, Seven of Cups reverse. Maybe I'm getting like with all of these like new spiritual awakenings, people knowing their past lives, it may be overwhelming for them, and they don't know which of their talents and gifts to offer first. Interesting. Usually in a Seven of Cups, I don't think the person in the picture is ever like leaning towards a certain option, because Seven of Cups represents like options and choices. It's weird because she's like caressing the snake. I just take that as more of like people maybe deciding like they want to bite off more knowledge than they can chew before digesting the spiritual guidance they've already received, or some people are going to be selfish and choose to hide sacred knowledge that should be shared. Yes, some people might accidentally, I think this is also maybe a warning of like false light, because the Page of Cups reverse can refer to like a false offer of something, and this person's kind of almost choosing the snake here. Just to be careful and very discerning, and ask yourself, how does my body feel while interacting with this person? I don't know. It's really hard to. It is. It's difficult sometimes to discern whether someone's trying to like create energetic cords towards you, but you will learn. And a lot of false light people There's a lot of people that will call themselves like a certain type of starseed when they're of a lower vibration. I don't really understand why there's so many star seeds that came from dimensions of like the seventh, sixth, fifth dimension and choose to keep that knowledge secret and maybe act like they're a high vibrating Pleiadian, but actually, or a high vibrating Andromedan or Antarian, and then decide to try and like put blocks on someone's third eye on purpose, or try and cut off their crown chakra or something. Like I just, again, what these starseed cards were saying is that you have to allow and accept people for as they are on their journey. They think knocking someone else down a ladder somehow helps them. That's just, but yeah, so you have to be discerning about false light people. I would also like, there's not a lot of real healers out there, and a lot of the real spiritual healers heavily are having their social medias kind of blacklisted. Because who runs social media? The people that are trying to uphold the matrix. So they literally do throttle like actual spiritual healers. So I would be very cautious about following social medias that have more than 500,000 followers. Because I don't know if that's the actual number of the 144,000. That might be like the true spiritual healers meant to awaken everyone else up. It could be more than that, but if you just look at the state of the world, you would know that there's not, just, I don't know. And also that usually people that can get over 1 million views, not 1 million views, over 1 million followers and stuff, they had to trade, sacrifice, sell their soul in some type of way in order to gain that. So I would just be very wary. Yeah, some of the most trusted YouTubers. Sorry, I asked my family to be quiet, but I guess I told them I was only going to record for half an hour, so whoops, I took longer. But some of my most trusted people that I watch on YouTube, they're posting like sometimes like 700 to 1,000 videos, and have only gotten maybe 50,000 to 100,000 viewers. It's very apparent, like, the amount of content they're putting out, and if it's like generally like the same quality as a different channel, but you just look at how easily they've gained followers, like, it's kind of very obvious. Yeah, and then there's like a lot of YouTubers that have actual, I think, true content, but they only have 5,000 followers, so. But, yeah. I guess I might end soon. I feel like I want to do more stuff, but with people talking right outside my door, I don't want their energy to spill into the reading. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it here. So hopefully the video maybe actually uploads before the end of Lionsgate. Yeah. But okay, thank you everyone for listening to my YouTube tarot reading. I hope you have a wonderful Lionsgate and full moon in Aquarius. So thank you so much.